Hey guys, Scott. I'm just going to tell you that 2023 Kentucky Derby. We're going to analyze, we're going to watch the race and, break down what horse we like, what horse we don't like. See who had, the bad trips, the great trips, and stuff like that. And, talk about the favorites. So we're getting to it. And, coming to the race, I thought the pace, I didn't think it's going to be last year's pace, but, it ended up being pretty close to the same fraction they set last year. And I think some of that was, as the race came closer to like the week of the Derby, you had a couple more additions of speed in there. Some of the slower horses defected out. And, horses like, Cyclone Mischief got in, Jason Road got in. And, you start getting that. You're going to get a little bit of speed on paper in this race, especially when the horses or jockeys are trying to, get position going into the first turn. And one of the horses I thought ran really good was, Two Fills. And, this is coming to the first turn. You see Two Fills is going to be right here in between, horses in between the 4 and the 12. And I didn't realize that he was, up that close on the pace. So, once you see this race play out and see just what good of a race he ran, and the fact that your winner was, Mage that came from way off the pace, and even Angel Empire, came, way off. So, seeing that had to, give a vote of confidence to Phil, especially going into a race like the, Preakness. And, you can see, the pace is 22:35. You got Kings Barnes up here on the pace. I actually thought he was going to sit just a touch further off of it. Maybe I thought he was going to sit where Two Fields actually ended up kind of sitting. So I was just, a little surprised. And then, I thought verifying would sit further back, but it kind of makes sense. I'm drawing the two posts. You might want to rush up. The horse has tactical speed. So you got to try to go up and get a good forward position. You don't want to be stuck in behind horses and try to get a bad trip because you wasn't aggressive enough. So we'll keep going with the video. And it might be tough to see where Mage is, on this. The NBC angle did a really good job, as I think this is Mage coming right up here, Mage is right back here. He kind of gets stuck briefly in between, like behind a couple of horses, but quickly, the Castellano, navigates a great trip for him out of that and gets him out of the trouble. So I thought that was really good, especially for a horse that's still kind of light on race experience. I hadn't raced that too, and only had, I think this is his fourth lifetime start coming to the race. And you can see, look down here, you see Angel Empire moving, you see Mage moves. These numbers are starting to get closer to the pack. It's going to be tough in the 20 horse field to really see, where everything is. And we're going to stop at actually, we're going to go a little bit further to the top of the stretch. And you can see that Two Fields, basically took over right here. And, you can still see you got Mage and Angel Empire, coming up. And, if you've seen Epicenter last year, this is kind of how Epicenter, Turn for Home had this, lead coming to the, the top of the stretch. And it was looking good, but in the Kentucky Derby, because it's such a long stretch, not really a spot I think you want to be on the lead. You want to be like in contention, maybe a few lengths back. Uh, you can see, Mage is coming right here, and then Angel Empire is coming on the outside. I can't wait to see the GPS stuff come back and see, just how many, miles per hour like these horses ran. Because it looked like Angel Empire ran a slightly wider trip, and all in all, I thought it was, very good performance, especially by Mage. Dermot Agake ended up getting sixth. He was the impressive UAE Derby winner. The thought was on Japan, and even, I bought into some of the hype. And one day I do think they're going to do something, just not going to be this year, I guess. But still getting sixth in the Derbies, not a slouch performance, especially all the bumping and stuff that goes on in traffic. It kind of makes you wonder seeing Mage win. How, like, Forte got scratched the day of the race, if not the night before or something. I woke up that morning and found out Forte was not going to be in the race. But you look at the Florida Derby and see how Forte was able to go get Mage from the bad post and stuff like that. Like, I wonder if Forte would have been in this race. Would Forte have won easier than we all thought? Maybe Forte wins by 3 or 4 lengths or something. Like, it's just something to think about, because I thought that Florida Derby performance at second or third glance was really impressive by Forte. And I think it goes to show that the Florida horses are a little bit better than, initially thought, or at least I initially thought. Some of the bad performances, we got to go back is, Tappet Trice. And I don't know what happened. We're going to go back to the 5 post right here. And you can see everything is looking good with the break. Like Tappet Trice, breaks good. You can see him getting urged a little bit by Sias. Of course, he's trying to get him into position. You don't want to get a bad trip off position. And then all of a sudden it's like Tapit Trice just stops, wanting to get interested in the race. And, looking back, maybe a mistake of betting him was, you could kind of watch the race until the horse is maybe figured out mentally. So, maybe for future derbies, if you see a horse that, is on the, still trying to figure things out mentally, maybe I'll leave him off the ticket as, he's just, he's all the way at last now. And that's not idyllic, where you want to be. Even with the pace as hot as it was, and I got my hopes up, we see 22 and 45. I believe it was 110 for the 6 furlongs, but that was just not a great trip for Tapit Trice. And you can see him start, coming up and making a move, right up the rail. But there's gonna be too much work to do, coming from that far back. So, for me, like I thought Tapit Trice didn't really run a great race. He's certainly gonna be a candidate for the Belmont, as I'm willing to bet that if he runs back again, you're gonna get more close to that bluegrass effort than he will this effort. You can see, he was making, a move, and it looks like he's gonna kind of get in a brief contention coming, into the turn, but he just, I'm sure that took a lot of him to try to get the position to get up into the turn. And that being said, he's gonna have a hard time, being able to overcome all that. So for me, that was not a great performance by him. But that's it, guys. Hope everybody won big money on the Derby. If not, you still got the Preakness and the Belmont. It's not, 2 more races to hit. But thanks for watching.